So let's go ahead and walk through the sign up process for Fidelity now, starting out with installing the app. You're going to want to visit the App Store, or also do this on Android if you have an Android phone. You're going to click on search and you're going to type in Fidelity. At this point, you can click on the top result here for Fidelity, and it's going to bring up Fidelity Investments, and you're going to go ahead and click on the install button. Once the app has installed, you're going to click on the open button to navigate to the Fidelity app itself. And at this point, we're going to click on the green button at the bottom that says open an account. Now, if you already have a Fidelity account for some reason, you can just go ahead and log in, and you can skip ahead using the table of contents down below. In this case, we're looking to do a general investing account, but they also offer a retirement account as well as a Fidelity crypto account. Now, the Fidelity crypto account is going to be different than purchasing these crypto ETFs. Perhaps I could do a full video on that at a later date, so if you guys are interested in that, leave me a comment down below. For now, we're going to leave it on general investing and click on get started, and this is going to ask you if you are already a customer. So if you have a 401k, for example, with Fidelity or any other type of retirement account, you can use that existing login. We're going to click on no, and then we're going to follow the prompts here for creating a new account. At this point, you get to choose between whether or not this is an individual account just for yourself, or if you're trying to open up a joint account, this is going to be an individual account. Go ahead and put in your first and last name as well as your middle name if you also use that for your personal identification. Once you have that filled out, we're going to click on the green next button, and now you're going to enter your phone number as well as your email address and your home address. From here, we're going to click on the green next button once again, and at this point you have to enter your social security number as well as your date of birth and country of citizenship. Fidelity is required to report your trading activity to the IRS, so this is going to be a required step for any brokerage account that you are signing up for. Once you've entered this information, you're going to click on the verify it's me button at the bottom, and if everything you entered is correct, you'll get this screen here that says everything checks out, it's really you, and now it's going to ask you a few questions about your employment. The first question is, how do you make a living? And so you're going to click the drop down and choose whether you are self-employed, a business owner, not employed, retired, or perhaps employed by Fidelity Investments, or just employed in general. In my case, it's going to be self-employed business owner, so I'm going to go ahead and fill this information out and then click on the next button. And then it's going to ask you some required insider trading related questions. Most of these are going to be a no, but we'll go ahead and walk through them together. Read through this list and see whether or not you have family members who are employed by a financial institution, or whether or not a member of your family is a 10% or larger shareholder of a publicly held company. You also have to look to see if you are notified by the IRS that you have backup withholdings, and then it also asks if you're currently in a job related to FINRA, investment advisor, etc., etc. In this case, I'm going to say none of these apply, but if they did, you would click on yes, these apply to me. At this point, you have a decision to make about where your uninvested cash will go. You can either have this go into a money market fund or an interest-bearing account. The money market fund currently pays a 4.94% yield, and then the interest-bearing cash option is a 2.69. I'm going to go ahead and leave it in the money market account, but if you wanted to have this in a traditional cash account, like a bank account, for example, you could select that bottom option, but it is going to be a slightly lower yield. But I'm fine with the money market account, so we're going to click on that and click on next. At this point, it's going to ask you to review the information on screen here, and if everything looks good, you're going to click on the open my account button at the very bottom. At this point, the account is open, and now we're going to have to set a username and password, which is what you'll use when you log into the app as well as the desktop platform. So we're going to click on the green button at the bottom. It's also going to send us a two-factor authentication code to the number that we provided, so go ahead and enter that now. And now we're going to enter our desired username and password, so go ahead and complete those steps. And in this case, the username I was looking for wasn't available, so I'm going to have to change that to something else. There's over 50 million people using Fidelity, so it's going to be difficult to get the desired username if you have a common last name, for example. The second attempt there worked and the username was available, so now that is all set, and you can now make a decision about notifications, and then it's going to also have you set up two-factor authentication. At this point, you're going to click on the continue button, and this brings us now to the home screen for your new Fidelity account, and it's now going to prompt us with the next step here, which is going to be linking an external bank account in order to fund your new Fidelity account. Now, you have two options here. You can either set up direct deposit if you want to set that up through your employer, or you can also link a bank account and transfer up to $250,000, which is a very sizable amount of money if you wanted to invest that the same day. We're going to click on link a bank account at the top, and it's now going to bring us into the bank setup. You have two different options here. You can either do an electronic funds transfer or a bank wire transfer, and you can also make the decision here whether or not this is a business bank account. And you have the option of using Finicity, which is going to be an instant verification method where you enter your username and password, or if you prefer to enter your account and routing number manually, you can click on enter my bank information on my own. We're going to leave it just the way it is and click on the green continue button. And at this point, we're going to click on the next button to start the steps here for linking the bank account. So what you're going to do on this screen here is click on your bank if it's listed below, or you're going to search for your bank if you don't see it listed. At this point, you're going to click on the next button once you've selected your bank, and you're going to enter your user ID and password. From here, you're going to click on the submit button at the bottom, and in most cases, you'll get a two-factor code that you have to verify. And at this point, it's going to bring up a list of the bank accounts that you can link, and if you have multiple accounts, you're going to select the account that you want to link as your source of funds. And this will also be the account that you withdraw funds to if you decide to transfer money out of your Fidelity account at a later date. So go ahead and select one of your accounts and then click on the save button. And just like that, we successfully linked our bank account. So at this point, if you want to initiate a transfer right away, you can click on the go to transfer button.